each day a world to explore, in search of the book of 1,000 songs, as we set off from the shore.
So on to the next one, Pirate's Treasure. In the coastal town of Port Sarim, the adventurer comes across the infamous pirate Redbeard Frank, and still poverty-stricken since the water room debacle, tells his magnificent Gingerbeard that we're in search of treasure. But no treasure comes for free, and Frank agrees to help us if we can help him with his lack of rum problem. Not just any rum, mind. No, that won't be good enough for Frank. He wants Karamjan rum. So we agree to help, and Frank explains that we'll need to find a way to smuggle it into the port, as customs has recently clamped down on the export of spirits. And the adventurer just instantly agrees to this. Well, of course, the laws of the land don't apply to famous adventurers like myself. But anyway, I realised that once again I didn't have enough money to finish the quest, and went and sold the random shit I had left in my inventory in Lumbridge. Then in Gerrant's fishy business, there's a white apron that we'll leave for later, so we stole it while Gerrant's back was turned. Okay, maybe he was looking right at us, but he didn't seem to mind. 30 gold gets us to Musa Point on the northeastern coast of Karamja. There's a bar just west of the docks where we're able to buy the rum, and just opposite there's a banana plantation, and a scheme begins to grow in the adventurer's mind. First, we steal 20 bananas, then we go and talk to the plantation owner and ask for a job. Seems like I might have done those two steps the wrong way round. He gives us the job and tells us there's a crate outside ready to be filled with bananas, and confirms the crate will be delivered to Port Sarim. Fill the crate and only needed 10 bananas. Get our payment from Luthus, and after a quick pat down by the customs officer, return to Port Sarim. Then with the apron equipped, apply for a job at Wyden's food store, search the banana crate in the back for the rum, and deliver it to the great big bushy beard. He tells us of a time he served under One-Eyed Hector, up until his untimely demise at the hands of customs and excise agents, and gives you a key to Hector's chest, located in his room at the Blue Moon Inn in Varrock. With any luck, his treasure will be there. With any luck. So we just did all that and you aren't even sure if we're going to get fucking rewarded. The chest has a miraculous little transformation and spits out a note, which points us to a spot in Falador Park. An angry gardener tries to stop us from digging up the treasure, so some casual murder. Next on the list is Druidic Ritual. This quest released all the way back in February of 2002 and was extensively written almost exactly 10 years later. This gives us our first introduction to the religion that's built up around Guthix, the god of balance, and the last, or first depending on your perspective, the three major gods worshipped by mankind. Just to the north of Tavali we find a stone circle, a place of worship for the druids, and speak to Cake Mix.
What brings you to our holy monument? You have about you the air of a wandering hero, and I sense you can aid us.
He wants to give aid to the soldiers of Berthorpe who have been suffering raids from the trolls of the mountains to the north. He tells us to visit Samfew, a herbalist in Tavali, to create a potion known as the Ointment of Imbalance, which they hope will alert Guthix to the chaos the trolls are causing.
What can I do for you, young'un?
I'm saying nothing.
I've got a list of things I need you to retrieve for the potion. Don't you go worrying about mixing it up, just leave that to me. I need you to get me a vial of untainted living water. You can get me some wandering rum. And while you're by the lake, you can catch me a stonefish and get some of the scales.
In a cave that used to be part of the tutorial and where you'd first meet Ariane just before fighting a troll named Magic Stick, we find the living water. Then in the lake to the south, we use some gold coins to lure in a rock shift and chisel off some scales. Then on the south shore, we found some wandering wormwood.
Oh, that's the stuff. Let's get this potion sorted then.
Then we get a short closing cutscene in which some leaves go on some stones.
In the name of all beasts and plants, from the humblest mouse to the mightiest of dragons, from the tiniest blade of grass to the tallest oak.
What are you gabbling about, young Cake Mix? The ritual just calls for you pouring the ointment on the stone. Are you trying to put us all to sleep?
Those two quests should definitely have been in the last episode. Both of them are some of the oldest quests in the game, and they also fit neatly into that little group of random little nothing burgers spread across Misthalin and Asgarnia. I mean, well, I suppose we did get a little bit of lore from the last one, but especially as the next little block of quests are set in Kandarin, around the split city of Ardoin. But first I need to actually get there, and I was about to run across White Wolf Mountain before I realised that this would break my organic discovery rule. While I do technically have access to the mountain pass, it would also force me to run through at least one town I don't yet have access to. Fortunately, there is a direct route we can take by chartering a boat from Port Sarim. Unfortunately, this requires gold, and relative to my account at the moment, it's a rather large sum. Now normally this would be an easy fix, jump on into the Stronghold of Security and grab a quick and easy 10k. However, because of the same organic discovery rule, I won't have access to Barbarian Village until I get to Gunner's Ground, which is quest number 57, and I think I'm on like quest 18. So instead I just grabbed everything I'd earned so far from the quests, plus the water runes that had caused this trouble in the first place, and went and sold them all in Lumbridge, and depleted nearly all of that wealth on a single boat trip to Port Gazard. In the monastery just to the south. Oh fuck, I need a jug for this. I can't get one in Ardoin yet, even if there is one there, and I can't access the lodestone. Fuck. Back to Lumbridge, sold 100 of my air runes, grabbed a jug of water, and finally we can start this so-called quest released in 2002. Monk's Friend. In the monastery south of Ardoin, we meet Brother Omad. He's not been able to sleep since he's been kept awake by Brother Andro's son, who in turn hasn't been able to sleep since some thieves broke in and stole his blankie. What kind of asshole steals a kid's blanket? Alright, let's sort these pricks out. The thieves' hideout is hidden in a circle of stones, which is surprisingly hard to spot with the updated graphics. Either that or I'm just blind. Oh no, these guys are scary. Yoink. Ha ha ha. Hey look, someone's having a party. We return the blanket and ask if Omad needs any more help, which of course he does. You just couldn't keep your mouth shut, could you? I'm sorry. They're having a party to celebrate the little unnamed Andro's son's first birthday. Oh, that's sweet. It's also a great excuse for a drink. Ever wanted confirmation that this is a British game? Everything revolves around alcohol. Brother Cedric was supposed to be bringing the wine, but he hasn't arrived yet, so we go out to look for him, and find him 20 feet from the monastery, surrounded by barrels of wine next to his broken cart. Gee, I wonder what happened here. We give him the jug of water to help him sober up, chop down a nearby tree to repair the cart, and head back to Brother Omad for the party and our reward. From one fetch quest to another, and these should definitely be mini quests these days, next on our laundry list of quests is Clock Tower. Released roughly a month after the last quest, and god, do I really need to go into it with this one? Did I really need to on like some of the last few? But anyway, I needed a bucket of water for this quest and did something dumb. I teleported to Lumbridge again. I knew I'd need money to get back, so I went to do some fishing, until I realised off camera that this was a stupid way to make money, so I sold the remainder of my runes, thinking I could easily make some more at the magic shop in Port Sarim, hoping I'd get more for them from a specialist shop. Then ran to the Wizard's Tower to grab a Wicked Hood before realising three things. First, the only place to get a Wicked Hood for free is in Berthel, and I can't go there yet. Secondly, due to the way the update was added to the lore, as Wizard Phoenix choosing to open the runespan to the public, it's not available in the storyline till, oh, I don't know, after we've done Thock Your Block Off, most of the way into the legendary era of the timeline, and finally, that I wouldn't even be able to train runecrafting through the Abyss until I'd done another 90-ish quests and mini-quests. So as you've been watching, I did some runecrafting the old-fashioned way. Well, not as old school old-fashioned. Thankfully, the altar got moved to the west of Varrock, West Bank, in 2009, which makes it a lot quicker. There's a broken clock, and Brother Kojo, the guy who looks after the clock, wants us to fix it for him, because no one in Gielinor is capable of doing anything for themselves, apparently. Basically, there's 4 coloured cogs that go on 4 coloured spindles on 4 floors of the tower. The black cog has been perpetually heating up in what looks like an endless basement fire, so I might want to tell Kojo about this before the cogs are the least of his worries, which goes on the bottom spindle. Next to the red cog, which is guarded by some ogres for some reason. What the hell has Brother Kojo been doing down here? Which goes on the ground floor. Down the alley for the white cog, we find some rat poison. Feed it to some ratties, who hurl themselves at a metal door until their death throes shake it loose. What the fuck? And find the white cog, which goes on the top floor. And finally for the... There's a fucking bucket right there! Oh god, why did I do all that work for a bucket? Fuck! And finally, for the blue cog, we go down to the trapdoor just to the south of Ardoin Zoo to follow this long-ass path, push through a secret wall, and get attacked by a dungeon rat avenging its fallen brethren from earlier. The last cog goes on the first floor, and that's another quest done. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like the video if you did, and subscribe if you're new here. If you want to check out the full series, it's available here, and the next episode will be available here when it's ready. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.